Up with KREM begins now.
5:29 now. Well, usually eating healthy means eating fresh, but making sure you're buying organic is not as simple as reading the label. We'll break down what to look for before buying your next groceries.
And it looks like some wet weather is beginning to roll into the northwest. We are kicking off the day with just a few rain showers, especially up toward the northern mountains. We'll be talking about what to expect in the form of rain and snow as the rest of the day goes on.
And Spokane public schools are looking for ways to stop vaping among students. This morning we hear from board members about possible fining students.
Well, a meteor lit up the night sky in Missouri. Check it out. This is last night near St. Louis. The meteor was so bright you could actually see it on satellite imagery.
And a lot of people captured that meteor, including on Ring doorbells, which you can see there. The sighting coincides with the height of a meteor shower, well known for its spectacular fireballs.
Whoa,
That is so cool.
yeah.
I love that.
Look how bright-
video
yeah,
right in the middle. I
that's
know.
bright.
Incredible.
That is remarkable. I like the one where it was right behind the arch. That is wild.
These are those instances where, you know, those Ring doorbells catch things that you're like, you'd never expect them to catch, but it's just good to have them there. You can
Great
run
content.
stuff like this.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great investment. You don't miss a thing.
I love it.
Well, welcome back to Up with KREM. Great to have you with us on our Tuesday morning. That area, it's some strange weather. You got Arctic air, you got a meteor shower.
They are cold. We think we're cold sometimes. I mean, they are really cold. We are right around the freezing point in the low 30s. I would say we don't want those several inches of snow. We don't want those Arctic temperatures, but we had seen them in October. October brought plenty of cold temperatures. It brought snow to us. Now it's looking like today is just going to be kind of a light rain snow event. So for most of us, what we're going to be talking about this afternoon, including for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, is rain. So don't expect anything strong in terms of snow. But where we are expected to see snow is up toward the northern mountains and really about the northern third of Washington. You can see on satellite radar what we're picking up on as we speak. The snow is just beginning around the Kettle Falls area. It will push through Bonners Ferry. Sandpoint is likely to pick up on some snow, western Montana. So about the northern third of the map on here, all those areas have the potential for some snow. Over on the left-hand side of your screen, right around Moses Lake, we're picking up on rain and a little bit of a glaze, we say, which is not going to be any accumulation of snow, but likely could fall as snow or a wintry mix and melt upon hitting the ground. Spokane will likely see all of this come in that form, either non-accumulating snow or just rain for most of the area, especially through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. You can see the main weather event that we're talking about is up to the north of us, and that's providing just enough to just push farther down to the south. So we could continue to see this event develop. Otherwise, though, we are expecting it to be very light. So air stagnation advisory expires at noon today. Dense fog advisory was just recently issued down between Pomeroy and Walla Walla. That is an area where we aren't expecting much in terms of precipitation, and without precipitation, we will probably see some of that fog develop. So if you are seeing some limited visibility down toward that Oregon-Washington border, make sure to take a little bit slower on the roads today. Right now, our best potential for northern Washington and Idaho to see snow is going to come between about 8 a.m. and noon. Afternoon, we see most of those showers push off toward western Montana. For the Spokane area, though, itself, you can see our best shots come between about 10 a.m. and noon. That's a 60 and 80% chance for just some light showers today. Nothing that we see going on today should accumulate beyond a couple inches up toward the northern mountains. Valleys, again, non-accumulating snow. So all in all, this should be a pretty minor weather event compared to what we're used to for this time of year, but just something to keep in mind, especially after several days of dry weather that we've seen. 5:33 right now. I'll send things back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you. Kayakers rescued a pilot after a small plane crashed in a lake in King County. It happened this week near Covington. After the plane hit the water, kayakers rushed to help the 19-year-old pilot. He was conscious, but they say suffering from hypothermia. He is expected to be okay. Divers recovered the plane from the lake yesterday, hours after the crash. A Portland man has his motorcycle back 2 years after it was stolen. Someone stole that bike in 2017, and recently he started receiving speeding tickets in the mail. The picture on the ticket was his motorcycle, but someone else was on top. Well, that man says he purchased the bike 1 year ago. He says he did not know the bike was originally stolen. After seeing a story about it on the news and the tickets that he was receiving, he returned the bike to its rightful owner.
I watched that article twice today, again.
Yeah.
And he goes, somebody's out there with my pet.
you know, and it kind of brought a tear to my eye, so there we go.
Well, after a quick reunion and spin around the block, the two decided to grab a beer. Boeing expects the FAA to clear the grounded 737 MAX jets as early as next month. There is no set date on when the updated pilot training program will be done, and commercial flights likely will not take off until next year. But if the timeline holds, Boeing would still be able to deliver the planes to airlines next month. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention experts are taking a closer look at vitamin E acetate. Vitamin E is acceptable to use on your skin or even as a supplement, but CDC leaders warn it's dangerous when inhaled. Now, they found vitamin E in samples taken from 29 patients recovering from vaping-related illnesses. They say the chemical stretches out the product and is mainly found on the black market. While the CDC believes vitamin E is linked to the vaping epidemic, the agency is also looking into other ingredients. Well, that is your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM.
Vaping in schools is a concern for parents, teachers, and students. In Spokane, the school district considered the possibility of issuing fines to students as a last resort. That idea has been put on hold, but 3 new board members just got elected. So what will the new group decide?
The board is made up of 5 members. The current members showed hesitancy towards the idea and it was tabled. But in December, a new board will meet for the first time.
The proposal was first brought up a few weeks ago. As a last resort, repeat vaping offenders could get a Class 3 civil infraction, basically a traffic ticket, costing $103. But most of the board wasn't loving it. Many were wary of getting kids involved in the court system and that the fines would disproportionately harm poorer students, so the idea got tabled. And vaping generally will be discussed at a community meeting later this month. Not long after that, the newly elected board will sit. It'll include current members Jarrell Haynes and Mike Weiser. And unless there are major changes in ballot returns, it will also have Nikki Lockwood, Jenny Slagle, and Kevin Morrison. Haynes was among the first to express concerns at that original meeting, and today he told KREM he still has those concerns. Weiser didn't respond to our request last night. Member-elect Nikki Lockwood said she's not a fan of the fines.
If they have a family that can afford that, what does that do? What does that do to that family? The equity aspect of this, and rich kids will just pay it.
Jenny Slagle also is glad the proposal's been tabled.
Any policy that is put forth that could potentially affect kids and put them in the court systems and thereby into the school-to-prison pipeline, I would be against.
And Kevin Morrison, too, not convinced it's the right solution.
You'll have to show me a study that says that it will do anything. I don't think that such behavior is going to be cut back with a fine.
Despite their hesitancy, all the people I spoke with said it's clear something needs to be done.
And so I can appreciate them looking for any tools to help curb the activity.
Most current or future members are more interested in a public health approach, treating vaping as a medical addiction rather than just punishing it as a crime.
We're focusing on it not being a behavior problem, but an addiction, because vaping has such a high amount of nicotine that they take a public health approach.
Because that's more effective. It's been more effective in, looking at seatbelts and smoking cessation.
And they all agreed that more community input is needed before making a final call.
As for that community input, you yourself can weigh in at the meeting I mentioned. That's on November 21st, and we've got more details for that on KREM.com. In the studio, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
Thank you, Casey. Thanks for waking up with KREM this morning. It's time for your speed feed stories you'll see on social media. Ever wonder how Scooby and Shaggy became an iconic duo? Well, we got all the answers in the first Scoob trailer. The upcoming animated movie was first announced back in 2014 and will finally hit theaters in 2020 next year. You might recognize some of the big names in Hollywood voicing. Zac Efron is Fred, and Amanda Seyfried voices Daphne. And it was an emotional episode of Jeopardy last night. Hashtag We Love You Alex was trending on Twitter, and for the best reason. So when one player didn't know the answer to the final question, this happened.
Left with $5. Okay. Did you come up with the right one? No? What is We Love You Alex? That's very kind of you. Thank you. Cost you $19.95. You're left with $5. Okay. Did you come up with the right one? No?
Well,
What
Trebek,
is
who has
We Love You
hosted
Out
Jeopardy since 1984, has been in treatment for pancreatic cancer. And so just a small gesture meant a lot for him. It's a definitely a priceless one as well. Well, the streaming service Disney Plus starts today, and it has everything from the classics to new content. For only $6.99 a month or $69 a year, you can watch all of the Star Wars films and the first ever live action Star Wars series called The Mandalorian. The series, they also have a bunch of original Fox content from 30 seasons of The Simpsons and Avatar. You can expect live action remakes of The Lady and the Tramp and also a High School Musical remake series.
Oh, Evan's favorite movie.
I love the High School Musical series. I don't know how I feel about the remakes, but
without the same cast, I don't know how I feel about it.
No, I'll rewatch the originals, the first three.
Right. Got to get you ahead of the game.
I mean, that's
Don't
exactly
get him
it.
started. We'll sing the song.
I know, right?
He's like,
and cancel the next 2 hours of the show. I'll be doing a live
Dance
rendition.
break.
Yeah.
Dance break.
All right, it is 5:40 now on our Tuesday morning, and this morning we're asking you, if stay-at-home moms were to be paid, what should their salary be? You can vote all morning long, and we'll check in with your results after the break.
And new technology may help you save money during the winter. In our next half hour, we connect the dots.
And congratulations to Kristen Rondo. You just won 2 Up with Creme coffee mugs, coffee beans, and a Thomas Hammer gift card. If you'd like to enter to win, you can do that by subscribing to our Creme newsletter or enter on our Up with Creme Facebook page. We'll be right back.